If you watched my previous videos on time travel, then you would probably know that it isn't possible to travel back in time, only to change the speed of time. But today, I will be telling you a possible way to get access to every point in time. In order to do this, we first have to understand what time is. Time is the change in the properties of all the things in existence. These changes can be like differences in velocity and position, energy, or just anything that can ever happen. Or in other words, time is fueled by the changes of objects, and the fact that every single point of time is different. And you know what this sounds like? Entropy. Entropy is basically the natural movements and changes of objects. If you look on a smaller scale, then entropy is probably only limited to things that happen without intelligent interference. But on a larger scale, then everything that happens is natural, including all human actions. After all, humans are nothing but a bunch of elemental particles doing what they always do, except they function together to perform a little more complicated actions. And all of these actions are all caused by the natural force of entropy, which is the foundation of time. If everything stopped moving, then so would time. But anyways, now that you know the basics of time, we will have to figure out a way to control it. So first of all, entropy always moves forward, just like how things that happen don't just unhappen.
You stupid.
In fact, if time moved forward or backwards, it would still always appear that things are going forward, because it's not like every point in time is stored in an EV file or something. Instead, everything in the universe is constantly moving in the natural ways that it does. So sadly for you, time travel won't ever happen unless you are a higher being in a different dimension. So that is exactly what you will become now, because there is no other way. So let's say that you lived in a reality where with each passing point in time, an infinite amount of paradimensions are created, each containing a different possibility that could have happened to the things in the previous point of time. This cycle has been repeating itself since the very beginning of time, creating a very huge tree diagram of dimensions. If I had to guess, this would be what two-dimensional time would look like. So if we had two time dimensions, then this would work, but since we probably don't, your mission of time travel would not be possible. So what you would have to do is go to the point in the tree diagram of dimensions where you would want to travel to, then simply go inside. This would have been impossible if you weren't a god, since going in and out of dimensions is not very easy. You don't have to pick which dimension to go into, because the one that you eventually end up going into is always going to be the one that has you inside the next paradimensions, since there are an infinite amount. So yeah, it is that simple. Except it is all actually impossible, since our multiverse only contains one system of time, and that system most likely only contains one dimension. Maybe if you become a god, then this would be possible, which I will hopefully explain in next week's video. Bye.